Hello everyone out there in tax land, Dan the Tax Man here, tax professional with CommunityTax, and today I want to talk about what steps you should take if you've got unfiled tax returns. Now the first thing is don't be too hard on yourself. I've seen it countless times in my career for one reason or another. Folks get behind, have other personal issues going on, the taxes don't seem as important as maybe some other items, they get behind. But I'm here to tell you today that no matter what the reason is, you should get those tax returns filed right away. The first reason, there's no other better reason than this, not filing your return is a crime. It is a federal offense not to file a tax return. Now compare that with filing a return and owing. Owing, not a crime. Not filing a tax return, yes, is a crime. The second reason you should file is that if you don't file, you can be subject to big penalties. The failure to file penalty is 5% a month, capping out at 25%. Compare that to the failure to pay penalty, which is 0.5% per month, capping out at 2.5%. That's right, it is 10 times worse to not, from a penalty perspective, to not file versus not pay. Third, if you don't file a tax return, the IRS can file a tax return for you. They can file what's called an SFR, or service filed return. And if the IRS files for you, they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt on anything. It's going to be no deductions, no credits, no dependents, no nothing, just the maximum amount of tax that they can apply by law. And lastly, if you don't file, you can lose your refund. You've got 3 years from the date of the deadline of the original deadline of the return to file it and get your refund back. If you don't file on time within 3 years of that date, you lose your refund, no matter how big it was. You don't get it in a check. It doesn't get applied to any other balances. It just goes to the IRS. It becomes a gift to the U.S. Treasury. And I know there's better places you want to give gifts than to Uncle Sam. So you want to file your back tax returns and don't know where to start. Here's what I would do first. I would call the IRS customer service line at 1-800-829-1040, speak with an IRS customer service representative, and ask exactly what returns they're looking for. Now, in general, the IRS only wants your last 6 years of returns to be filed. As long as you file those last 6 years, you'll be considered 100% compliant. The other nice thing about calling the IRS is that they can give you something called a wage and income transfer. If you ask for it, they will mail you to your home a copy of these wage and income transcript. It includes a transcript of all the income documents that they have on your account and is the vast majority of the information needed to file a tax return for you. The next thing I would do is get together all of your income tax documents that you've been saving. I don't know if it's in the shoebox or under the mattress or wherever, but get them out. The wage and income transcripts are fantastic, but they don't have all the information needed. Let me give you an example. State withholding, if you live in a state that has income tax, is not included on the wage and income transcripts. If you want the number for that, you have to look at your actual W-2. Or for other items like a 1099-R, if there's any state withholding, the only place that's going to exist is on the original forms. So you want to get those together because whether you're doing it or you're having a professional doing it, the more documents you can come up with, the better the quality of the return that they can produce. Now, if you're self-employed, there's one more item you need to put together, and that's something called a profit and loss. A profit and loss is a statement that details your business income and has an itemized list of your business expenses for the year. And I can let you in a little secret. If you don't have exact amounts for every single expense, reasonable estimates can be used. Again, as long as they're reasonable, they're numbers that you're willing to sign your name to. And just keep in mind that if you're using estimates for any expenses, if your return was to be selected for exam, you would need to come up with proof of those items to maintain the expense. But if we're just talking about filing a return, especially back tax returns, if you don't have absolutely everything as far as expenses goes, again, reasonable estimates can be used. Now, once you have everything together, the next step is to actually complete the returns. And there's a couple ways to do this. The first way is to download the income tax forms from the internet. They are available for free, but in my opinion, I think this is the hardest way to do it. I think if you tried this even for a little bit, you'd see what I'm talking about. The return forms themselves tend to be very complex, very hard to follow, even for a tax professional. While it's possible, I don't think it's that practical. The next option would be to download some third-party tax software, either from a local retailer or from the internet. Or the third way would be to sign up with a tax professional to help complete the tax returns. And honestly, I think this is the best route to go, especially when we're talking back tax returns. And CommunityTax is the best option for completing those back tax returns. Number one, we've done thousands of these back tax returns. We've got preparers who have helped taxpayers in every single industry, who are familiar with all the forms, and we have the latest and greatest tax software to help make filing the return as easy as possible. We also have a dedicated line with the IRS called the Practitioner Priority Service Line that we can help get your transcripts in and help work with you to get all the documentation and information that we need to complete the return. But we are your partner every step of the way, and we can help make sure that the taxes are done quickly, efficiently, accurately, and that the account once again comes back into compliance. I hope this video has communicated the many reasons there are for filing any unfiled tax returns and getting your account back into compliance. And I hope to help give you some idea of the steps it takes to gather the information, prepare, and then file any unfiled tax returns. And if you'd like to talk with a tax expert about your tax situation, or if you have tax questions, give us a call at 800-424-8332. And if you're a Spanish speaker, 888-523-6606, or you can email me, danthetaxman@communitytax.com. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dan, the Taxman, tax professional with Community Tax, and I will see you next time.